Hey everybody, I am going to show you a little project I'm working on. This might not make sense yet, but this is for my MOC, and in one of the later videos you will see why. But what I am working on is a mini figure scale version of the UCS Millennium Falcon. And I'll just grab one of my Harry Potter minifigs real quick just to give you an idea of what I'm working on. Now in reality, I think that the scale would probably have to be even smaller than this, probably as big as this 4-stud dome. Well, actually that's more of a 3-stud dome. That's about as big as it should be. I haven't figured out a way to do it that I really like. I started with this prototype, and ignore the colors because I only have one light bluish gray cheese wedge and in my entire collection, so that's what I had to use to make this work. But I actually liked the shape of this one quite a bit, but the way I designed it, I couldn't put any engines on there. And it's still a little big, but it's about the right size. And I'm going to show you the technique I use for this. I use some of the single plates with I call it the double-sided stud holder on that one. I can't remember what it is. Put two of them back to back and then put plates on the side. Had to start with a single plate here and then add extra plates on there. And then I just built symmetrical sides. You can kind of see the side I did. There are the brackets, and it just nicely fits together. It's a nice solid build because of the way that worked out. This one is a hodgepodge, and although it is the right size, and I even was able to get basically the vents back there, did get an engine spot on there, but as you can see, I had to use these 2x2 plates with the corner cut out to hold it all together. And I did use one of these plate brackets or plate stud holders for the front, but it just doesn't work, and you've got that big gap underneath this dome, because when you're doing the 2x2 domes, they sit flush, and if you have two studs next to each other, you can't put them together. So then I moved on to this one, and on this one I used a plate a brick with two studs on the side, and I also used a brick with studs on the two adjacent sides, and I did that to hold the engine on. So I actually ended up using a 1x2 of the studs on the side, and that hold the plate there. And then the engine, I had to use the pin on the plate right there to go in the hole on the stud on the side, and that worked. And I actually like that one quite a bit. The dome is a little bit big for this one, but because of the studs that you have right next to each other, can't use a small one, so I had to go with the big one. Overall, I don't mind that one at all. It's got a good shape to it, and I think it actually would work quite well. And then there's this one. This one, I used a different method. I used what I will call the movie camera piece, and that sits right in there. I had to put a tile on the front, and it does create a little T on the engine, but overall it probably has the best shape of all. It's just a little big when we get it next to my minifig. So that's the only problem I have with it. The one nice thing about it, and frankly this weird one, is that I could get a deflector shield on there, and then if I put some guns on top, which I can do on this one, but it looks a little big on that one, it fits a little better on this one. And these front pieces are longer like they should be on the real one. So I'm leaning towards using this one, even though it is a little too big. I think this one would be my second place. there is always this one, but again, I like having the engines on it. I think that really helps define what it is. But I'm curious what you all think, and you'll have to let me know which one you like the most and which one you think fits best on kind of the minifig scale. Anyways, I will see you next time.